Hi guys, welcome back to this channel, Creativity Incorporated, and my name is Diana. If you're new, welcome to this creative space. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. Today I wanted to start by showing you guys, I found these, I think the guy said they were about 200 years old frames. I don't know, they look more like 100-year-old, I don't know, but he said that they were very old. They do look over 100 years old. I don't know when photography was invented, but these are real old pictures. And I found a set, so I wanted to make molds of these. And I've showed you guys many times how I make molds. And this is kind of like a rundown of how I've done it before. You guys know I make a box, I tape it up. Then on my base, since I have a bottom that I didn't want to be part of the mold, I put a thin coat of my daughter's, what is it called? Air clay from Crayola. It always has worked for me, so you don't have to buy that any expensive brands or anything like that. I buy it at Walmart or Target. Any of those is good. Now, remember last time I had this horrible experience with Hobby Lobby brand. Please do not use it. It's still messing up. It's still dying my pieces I'm making molds of. It's still not working. So if I am going to make more of those pieces, I may remake the mold. But anyways, I like to make double-sided or triple-sided or quadruple-sided molds just because they are not cheap. The material is not cheap, so I try to make the best of it. So what I'm doing here is in a sense double-siding it by making one on the bottom and making sure to make sure that I put it not so deep or not so low. I marked to kind of where the thickness of the frame and the wood would end up being. So you mark it on the side, and once you put your top, make sure you just put it by that line. That way you ensure yourself that one, you are even, and two, that you are as close as you can of pushing it in, but not all the way in, so it doesn't like push off the sides. Now, a plot twist, it came out really good. The top one, the one that you see me struggling here with, the bottom one, it came out kind of funky, but that's because the frame was wonky, and it was just, you know, it was just gonna happen because the frame was wonky, and I didn't want to play with it so much. It was wonkier before when I first bought it. It was at the bottom of the box, and I bought them for like $1 each. Anyways, so I tried to straighten it up, but I felt like if I kept on moving it, it might have, you know, broken off. They were metal, but still. Anyways, so I do bang it a little bit because I want the bubbles to come out. I've never had so much problem with bubbles, but I didn't want it to start today. You know what I mean? So as you guys know, I love this product. I am going to link it down below. It does support my channel if you guys buy it from my link. It is an affiliate link. I am going to start posting whatever I put on the I use on the products. I do get asked sometimes, so you know, might as well put the link, and it helps the channel. It helps me buy all these things, you know. And oh, by the way, before I forget, I did go back to Hobby Lobby and I took them the mold, and I told them, look, it's still tacky, it won't dry properly, it's like messing up and it's dying, you know, my cast and everything. I showed them everything. The manager still wouldn't refund me the money, so I am still stuck with almost a full bottle of the red product that they sell at Hobby Lobby. I may, if I like feel like at some point I want to experiment with something, I may use that product, but I do not plan on using it for things like these that are important to me. So anyways, this is the underside frame, the larger frame, and because like I mentioned before, it was wonky, the frame or the foam went under it, but it's very easy to clean it up before you take the mold. That way you know what's like a runoff or what is part of the mold. So the fact that I kept the frame in the mold before I pulled it out and cleaned it before, it made it so much easier. As you guys can see, I just run it with the blade and it just pops out. I love the detail and the quality of this mold making product. And so as you guys can see, I made two, and I wanted to experiment on the bigger one. I wanted to show I wanted to see if I can make one of those clear, maybe old looking, glass looking, vintage kind of thing, where it has like a little bit of like a black tint or grayish tint. So I'm going to play with the idea of casting it in a clear resin. So I am going to link a link on the bottom for this one too. I like this one because when you're mixing it, it's like a foggy white, but when the mixture is ready to pour, it completely turns clear. And I love that about it, because sometimes you don't know when it's proper time to pour, or if it's ready to be poured, and the mixture alone tells you. And I love that, because it's like the less guessing you have to do when you're doing this, the better, because you don't want to waste product on a frame and then it has like bubbles, or it's not curing right, or it's not done right. So mixing this right makes all the guessing out of it. So I will link this product down below. When I link something, because I've probably already tried something else and it didn't work out, and I find something better, or this is what I like working with and I find that it works great. So I'm gonna try my best to link whenever I link something for you, that I link some products that I use myself and that I've used many times, not just one time, or that I not stand by, because I don't want to warranty other people's product, but I stand by it in the sense that I've used it, I've liked it, I've seen how it came out, and I've experienced with that a lot. So I in my channel use a lot of molds and a lot of resin castings and stuff. So if you're a follower of this group, you will see that and you like doing what I do, or you like to follow along, then buying a box of these products is not a bad investment, because I am not just going to use it once. In fact, this is like the third or fourth time I make molds in my videos. And if you are planning to do all of those and want to buy a box, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat right now, I am planning to make more molds, because I love making molds. I come from a film background, and I used to make costumes, and I like making props. So for me, making molds is a thing that makes me happy. So and much more when I make like for example, the last mold that I made, that I make the potatoes, and they turned out to be crystals, and when you shape your own model, I really love doing that, because I'm a sculptor as well, as you guys know. So I love sculpting, and making molds of it, and just the whole process. So I will most likely be using resin and acrylic and mold making materials. So if you're wondering, well, what else can I use it for, in this channel you will find many ways, and I will show you guys many ways of using this product. Moving forward, so you guys saw I poured a thin layer of the clear acrylic. It's not acrylic, it's resin. Sorry, keep on calling it acrylic because it looks acrylic when it's done, but it's a clear resin. So I put a thin layer, then I put little gold flakes, or paper gold, or I don't know, I've heard it called many things, but the little flakes. And so what I'm doing there is I grabbed a lot of little pieces and I put them there. Then I'm gonna put another little tiny thin layer and kind of work the gold in. Now I see that another thing you need to know, and because I like working on with this material, is because it gives you 30 minutes to work with this product, meaning I have time to do this. I have time, you have like the jewelry that you put flowers, or that you put stickers and stuff like that. You want to make sure that if you're going to work with something that's like not cured yet, you want to make sure you have time for that. You don't want to do something like the other products. They dry faster. This takes 20 minutes to start like being hard and stuff. It takes 24 hours to completely cure, but it gives you like 20 minutes for it to be okay, to be worked on, that it's still drying and stuff like that. So that's why another reason why I like working with this one brand. I'm gonna link it down below. But anyway, so once I poured my second thin layer of clear resin, I'm gonna go and make little like veins of, or crack looking things of, dark silver for the mirror look. I'm going for that kind of mirrory looking. I don't know, I think it's called like vintage mirrors or something, where they're like old and the backing of it is falling off, and you can kind of, I don't know, those like Halloweeny mirrors. I'm over explaining this, aren't I? Anyway, so what I did is I did a little bending, and then at the end, the top layer, I'm put like 1 or 2 drops in the resin that I had left over, and then I'm gonna, like, sort of like a mirror, make that my backing of the frame. Now I'm kind of working it in because I want to have I don't want it to separate it. So because sometimes when you put acrylic on resin, it takes longer to cure, or it makes it a little tacky if you put too much. So make sure you only do like 1 drop, 2 drops, because it can cause you problems when drying. In my case, what I did is I put 1 drop, and to top it off, I kind of like worked it in there a little bit, so that it doesn't separate and it doesn't become so tacky, and it's not so much a difference in consistency between the 2 layers of the 2 colors. You guys know what I mean. What you guys saw me doing there is I had another other mold on the side, just so I can have somewhere to put the extra. And here's the reveal. Now it came out kind of good. It's still not completely dried. I wasn't patient enough to let it cure the 24 hours. So I took it like within, I think it was like 12 hours. Now it's manageable, like where you can grab it, but it's still not hard. It's still like wonky, like it's fainted. Anyway, so what I'm doing is I'm adding another layer of the metallic silver in the back. At this point, I'm playing. I'm just letting you know what I did, but I'm not. I don't have a clear, what is it called, plan. Most of my videos are that way because I'm bringing you along as I create, not because I have an idea. I mean, just because I have an idea, not a way of doing things. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Anyways, for the little frame, I casted it resin, and I painted. I gave it a coat of black, and now I'm haphazardly giving it a coat of gold. I don't want it to be brushed, but I don't want it to be clear gold. And at the same time, I want it to be like my frames. I was kind of mimicking that, it's kind of like very falling off paint, not brushed paint. You know what I mean? And so these are the castings of the mushrooms that I did. These are the same ones I used in the book about at the beginning of the month. And these are also casted in resin. I mean in Darn it, why do I keep on forgetting? Yeah, it's in white resin. So what I'm doing is I heat it up so I can shape it, and then you spritz it with cold water, and it shocks the resin, and it stays how you want it to stay. And this is another reason why I love this product, because it's so manual. Now, if I would have had a better plan, when you first take it out of the mold, it's very flexible, very moldable, and I could have done it then, but because, like I said, I don't really have a clear plan, and I just casted a lot of these pieces because I was playing with the mold even after the video, and I had some of these were left over from the video, and some of them I cast also because I wanted to keep on playing with the mushrooms. I loved how the book came out. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the book, I will link it down below, or if I can tag it, I will tag it on the top, but I always forget to do that, so I'll just link it on the bottom. Anywho, I'm going to paint all my pieces like these off-white. It's kind of like, I think it's called canvas, because it's not off-white, it has like that coffee, like, you know, milk and coffee kind of creamer looking. I really love this color because it's very natural, so you can, you know, always add from here. And I give it a light coat. Now, it's not perfect, as you guys can tell, but before I attach things, I wanted to give it a light coat, because sometimes once I'm done attaching everything, it's hard for me to like paint it, and then I don't want to see those red spots from the, what's it called, the mold, that it's still coming off red. Like all my pieces, I promise you guys, are still coming out red from that ugly mold product that I used. You know, it's just frustrating that I talked to Hobby Lobby and I said, you guys shouldn't be selling this. You guys should not be offering this product. It doesn't work, and it just ruins everything. And it's like, she said she was going to talk to general management, but who knows. Anyways, to attach the tops and the bottoms, I simply just like scrape a little hole in the middle. Now, it doesn't have to be the same size, the same shape. I just want it to like have somewhere that the tip will sit on. Now, if you want to make it deeper, you can always just use a drill. I use a little knife because the resin is still very flexible, very moldable, and easy to do. Now, you see that tiny little hand that came in? That's my 10-year-old son, and he's like, Mom, you have the greatest idea in the whole wide world. He said, why don't you put the liquid on the bottom part, then right before it dries, because I showed him how it dried so quickly. It dries in 2 minutes, guys. This product is ready to go in 2 minutes. I showed him, and he was like, why don't you just put it there while the product dries, and then now you don't have to do that. I was like, that's a great idea, and it worked. I feel like he's so right. But my problem is that as I create, I like to change my bottoms and my tops. Now, if I was to like mass create it, yeah, I could just, make a little template and put them there. Anyways, this is my bottom. I painted it, me and my blue. And what I'm also going to do here is I'm going to put, before I attach it to the actual frames, I want to make sure I put something where as to how I'm going to hang this little frame. Not that I'm going to hang it, maybe not, I don't know. I have this little holder, like a plate display that I think I can use it on. But in case you want to, I want to have it where I can hang it, you know what I mean? Which I'm planning to maybe in the future. I don't know, I'm crazy people. But so to attach this big piece, it's going to be a little heavier. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to tack it from the back of the picture. You guys know what I mean? Look at this. This was a happy accident. And I had to ask my husband, because I was putting them both, to kind of clean up my desk a little bit, and I put one on top of the other. I was like, wait a minute, people. This looks so awesome. I was going to first do the big one just because I wanted to use that mirror looking. But, hello. the other one looks good on top of the other one. And I wasn't so sure because I was just like, dude, that was just crazy how it just flopped one on top of the other and it looked good. But I asked my husband, and my husband, you guys know, he's an artist as well. We live off his art. So, you know, I like to ask him questions, I feel. And he likes me to ask him. Sometimes I ask him just to, so I can know, you know, what other people know, because sometimes I'm in my bubble and I feel like sometimes I'm like the only one thinks it's cool. You know? You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's part of being insecure. But I had to ask him, and he was like, yeah, that looks super good. I was like, right? And he was like, right. I was like, bruh. He was like, bruh. So it's gonna be now. It's gonna make my frame a little smaller, but it's gonna be more dimensional. And I'm definitely okay with losing a little bit of property on, you know, on the frame. But man, it looks so good. The screen, you don't see it as good as I think it looks, but man, it looks really, really good. I really loved it. So once I attach it, then I start attaching all the mushrooms. I play with it so much, and you guys know I move it around, but same concept. Make a hole, put the crazy glue. Now, I didn't have the baking soda. You know how I like to make the little paste of crazy glue and baking soda, but I had those like mixed media craft stones or pebbles, and I just used that. I prefer the baking soda. It makes it really hard and it works really good. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can check one of my past videos. I think it's like 3 videos ago where I showed you how it is that I put crazy glue and baking soda, and it works super good. It's a lot of back and forth, you know, making the arrangement as to how you want it. But bottom line, this is what I came up with. I had first planned to put like 4 or 5, and I ended up putting 3. So I put crazy glue and those little craft stones, and now I'm gonna put moss. I have bags of fake moss, bags of dyed moss, and bags of natural moss, and I like to mix them up because all of them have different texture, different colors. So here you guys see me playing with the layout. Now I don't know how to plan it. I just feel like how it would look in the nature. That's all I'm doing. I don't have a plan for moss. Moss, just make sure you put it on the bottom. I also use moss to reinforce my union in between all my my mushrooms. So keep that in mind too. Like, I put the cheapest moss, like the 99-cent moss, because it's harder. It's more like twiggy. So I put it in between with a lot of glue so that it decorates, but it's also functional because it helps the whole little structure come together and stay strong, rather than, I don't want it because it's so like out heavy, because the mushrooms come out of the frame so much and it's so heavy. I want it to really, really enforce it so that, you know, if it's hanging for 5 years, it won't like all of a sudden clunk, you know, fall and be ruined for life. You know what I mean? That would be catastrophic. Is that how you say it? Yeah. I wanted to be dramatic, but I don't think I said it right. Anywho, this is how you see me playing, adding moss. I'm using regular silicone that you guys know I love. It works really good. I have never had a problem with it falling apart. It's actually, I think, sort of, it's a semi-industrial glue, because I buy it in a warehouse where it's for industrial uses. So it's tacky for like the first 20 minutes ish, but it's still pretty strong. And it's actually for like 10 minutes. It's still like you can take it off and put it back on or whatever. But then after that, it becomes really hard, like a stone hard. And I really love that about it. It takes about a day or 2 for that to happen. But it's a really, really, really nice silicone glue that I love. Anyways, I have this nail. I think this is you know how my kids bring me stuff all the time. I am not kidding. Half of my natural ephemera that I have here, my decorations, they're brought by my 10-year-old. He loves to bring me elements. He carries rocks, he carries pine nuts, like all these little, like, is it pine tops? I don't know, these little plate looking things. Those, he brought them as well. I have a whole like little bunch of them, and I use them here and there. I love using them. I have like 5 left. And yeah, he brings me home from school, from like a park or wherever, and I love that he's always thinking about doing that for me. And I always try to use them because it makes whatever I'm using that much more special, because I feel like, you know, he was part of it. So anyways, I am going to do, and this color was actually my husband's idea. I was not gonna do a red one. I am not a red person. I don't use red so much. I don't like red so much. And then the other mushrooms that I did came out like reddish pinkish, because I didn't want it to be red, so I put a little bit of white, you know, kind of mixing the red and white, but then they came out pinkish. I don't know, you know, that kind of nightmare where your color doesn't just come out right. That one. Anywho, I'm using this natural, is it ochre? No, I don't know, like mustardy natural color, and I'm gonna mix it with it's kind of like a gold. I think it's called like a King's Gold or something. It's really nice. I really like this. I use this color when I use rust, when I want to rust, like do a paint rust. I use this yellowish, and then on top of that I put a caramel. And I'm not painting. I'm haphazardly throwing paint on the mushroom. You guys know what I mean? Like, it's not painted or it's not brushed on. It's just blopping paint. So because I also want to make the texture of the paint blob. You know what I mean? That one. So I'm also gonna do little gold dots, sort of like if the background was a sky, midnight sky. That's why I did that faded blue black. And all I'm doing is blobbing with the needle. It's a crochet needle, a little bit of gold stars, and just, I think I overdid it, but because I was gonna cover it, and I didn't have a specific place as to where it was gonna cover. I was just wanting to make sure that, you know, there's enough stars out there. So I've done it where I put stars and like I put something on top and you're like, bro, the whole thing was covered by what I just put. So just making sure that I put enough. You guys didn't see, but I did a brown wash on the stem of the mushroom and on the tips and on the undercoat of the mushroom. And I'm doing this butterfly, and I'm attaching it just simply with a nail. I bought these nails at Walmart and in the fabrics side, and they work wonders when I want to do this. And this is my frame, guys. I'm very excited how it came out, and it's something you guys could all do. I feel like it's something not far reached, and I loved how it came out. And it, you know, I wanted to tie the concept that we did mushrooms at the beginning of the month, and I wanted to call it a mushroom month, and I wanted to finish it off with mushrooms. And also to remind you guys that beginning of November, I am going to start my Patreon. It's going to be official November 3rd, but for those that are subscribing to the $5 membership a month, all the artwork that I drew during that month and templates. So in this case, this month is gonna include the template for the cover outline, the frame that I did, and if I include it so that if you want to use it. I'm also gonna do monthly giveaways for the month of all those that subscribe during the month of November. I'm going to do this package, which includes 4 tops of mushrooms, 4 bottom of mushrooms, 1 frame, and I'm thinking of putting these in there. I was playing as to how I can print on, see, these are the cutouts for my cover of my book. But I was playing with printing on file folders. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all your support and love. I hope you can support me through Patreon. If not, I still love you with all of my heart. Thank you for being here. Till next time, guys. Stay crafting. And remember, love you guys. Bye.